the Georgia Dome, and that's where we're located here in downtown Atlanta. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Atlanta Falcons. They come out here in the eye. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And when you watch Devontae Freeman run the football, you can almost close your eyes and hear him running the football, can't you? Because people just scatter. I mean, you know, when he goes through a pile, it moves in a positive direction for him. I just love how hard he plays the game.
1,000-yard season. He had 11 touchdowns last year. In March, 25 years old. So he's kind of hitting that sweet spot for a running back, isn't he?
He really is. And I still remember the evaluation of him coming out of college. He does everything well, but you weren't sure he had a dominant trait. Well, wrong about that. He's dominant in just about everything he does, and I think that he's going to continue to elevate his game and seek a third Pro Bowl in 2017.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now Ryan on second down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Arrington. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. In this offense, they look towards Steve Smith a lot.
It's a good idea because if you don't, you're going to hear about it. No one plays the wide receiver position angrier or better than Steve Smith Sr.
Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll run again here with West. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The ground game, no doubt, that was an issue for Baltimore this year, finishing 28th. Now, West, he was their leader, but only 774 yards.
Can you believe you just said that? The ground game was an issue for Baltimore because that's what they're based on. I mean, that's who they are offensively. Being able to run the football, set that tone, set that physicality, and then throw the ball off of it. That wasn't Ravens football in 2016. I can't wait to see what they do next season. And will Terrence West be their lead running back?
From the 2-yard line now, it's first and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Shift together here from the D-line. The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. Third and goal, Flacco. Eluding the pressure right. That's going to be a loss of 15 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So our initial drive here this afternoon results in 3. I'm not sure that was a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
No question about it, Brandon. You had a crowd that was all fired up during pregame introductions, yet you're able to quiet them just a little bit by taking the early lead.
So out come the Falcons now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He takes this for 3 to the 29. The former Charger All-Pro Eric Weddle on the stop.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
Let's go.
In motion, the tight end. On second down, Ryan. And it's complete to Jacob Tamme. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Now it's Ryan. That is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Gabriel to man in motion. On third down, Ryan. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Flacco off play action. And Steve Smith hauls it in. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, and they've got it here with a first down. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. On first down, Flacco setting up the screen for West. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and got the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being very precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll run it with West. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. They need to get this to the 24 on third down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mike Wallace, 29 yards. And the Ravens will extend their lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
as you know in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Now the defense definitely showing blitz here. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have two with the move from San Diego to L.A. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. They come out here in the I. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Two minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Here's Coleman. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
They'll come out in the pistol. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
It's caught, left side, Tammy. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Eric Weddle brings him down. And with that, it's 2-minute warning time here, the NFL on EA Sports. They come out here in the I. Now Ryan on 2nd down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, It's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. It doesn't matter what you call the position. It's who you put there, and there we saw completion. Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you think, man, fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he'll get it down close. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. And now it's 2nd and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman punching it in from a yard away. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. And he's got it up and through. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And the Ravens taking the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Throwing here on first down. Flacco finding time. Going for a right side here. Complete. Give them 18 on that one. And the Ravens are going to have a first down. And they're going to speed things up here.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them.
It's caught inside the 25. That one goes for 38 yards. And that'll be good for Baltimore first.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 2nd down following the run. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he stopped immediately there. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
No lack of guts at all on that one. Normally in this situation in the red zone, that type of play isn't run, but I think they're trying to catch the defense off guard and also break tendency. No one really runs that type of a play. Guess what? We are. Let's see how you handle it.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustment.
It's caught at the 10. And he takes it down deep into Atlanta territory.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now it's Flacco. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mike Wallace 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Flacco looking to throw for it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
He completes it to Julio Jones. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting to run. Ryan drops it off for Coleman. Call it a gain of 3. And it'll make it 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Throwing again, Ryan. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Ryan. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off here.
They are men, and they are challenge. Bass and stills in the building, flash the camera. I'ma drop the hammer. Things done changed the hip-hop, sizzle and Bobby out the slammer. Hip-hop start on the East Coast and then move west down to Bama. I'ma bring it back to New York, hold on, then throw your hands up. Pass me a cup with in the club with the juice in the get bent out. Then I'ma slide with it to my ride and head up to my penthouse. Oh, I'm not trying to take it slow, working hard, cake and dough. Open up 24, we striving for that goal. I'll stop for nothing, I will play this game that's so easily started.
I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today. There's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Flacco's Ravens going up against Rodgers' Packers. With that, let's get you up to Green Bay, Wisconsin, where we welcome in our commentators, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL, there's a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Baltimore Ravens and the Green Bay Packers. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll put two receivers left, two to the right. Now a carry here for Terrence West. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
Flacco setting up the screen for West. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And here's a look at the defensive unit that hopes to halt this offense today. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Big run on the opening drive, and they better watch out for this guy or it's going to be a long game.
Back when I played in our scouting reports getting ready for games, we put stars next to the guys that we thought were the key players on the other side. There should have been 3 or 4 stars next to that guy's name. And give him credit. That's a good...
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Joe Flacco taking it in. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. One back is Lacy. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Fresh set of downs here. Rodgers now on first down. Caught left side by Cobb. A couple of years ago, Cobb signed that 4-year, $40 million deal. Since then, the numbers have been down a little bit, although last year only played 13 games.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be as concerned with the numbers dropping if I were a Packers fan, because remember, Davante Adams has developed as a player, and his numbers have gone up. You got Jordy Nelson back to full health in 2016. He's going to catch a lot of passes, almost caught 100 in that season. Jared Cook at tight end. That's a new weapon Green Bay didn't have for a while. And don't forget, Randall Cobb spent some time as a running back when all the injuries hit the backfield. So his versatility is still a major plus for Green Bay.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. And for this offensive unit, Eddie Lacy, sometimes he even has the Auburn fans saying roll tide.
Now that's big right there, because for them to say that, wow.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Eddie Lacy, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. They come up in an offset eye. Now West. And some space here. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Play clock winding down. They go under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Mike Daniels. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. To pass, Flacco. And he finds a man on a crossing route. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. Dixon on the give from Flacco. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Let's go a little in-depth on Dixon. He had his moments this year, but the results were mixed. And John Harbaugh, he has said we still need another back. So where does he fit into the picture?
Well, I think he fits squarely into the middle of things, because in recent years, the Ravens, who were used to having one back be the guy, they've actually gone to more of a stable. They've gone to kind of, running back by committee. So I think that's where he fits in because he can catch the ball really well out of the backfield. And you don't want to limit that by getting him beat up running the ball inside all the time.
And Steve Smith still making catches on Madden, but his career is over, finishing it with over 1,000 grabs, over 14,000 yards, and 81 touchdowns.
And no one went out better, as far as I'm concerned, than Steve Smith. Did you see his letter to the commissioner?
Tell me about it.
Where he said that I will no longer be around to antagonize defensive backs.
And he did just that.
Agent 89 out.
A red zone first down for Flacco. His throw caught at about the 5.
Well, welcome back to the Elite Flyers Club, Mike Wallace in 2016. Back over 1,000 yards catching the ball. We always knew he could run, Brandon. But this year, I thought he really improved route running and making some more difficult contested catches.
And now, Steve Smith gone, and Mike Wallace will be 31 when next season starts, but a lot more weight on his shoulders.
He'll still be able to run. That won't be the problem. But at 31, he'll also understand how to be craftier in what he does and make some of those difficult catches a little easier for himself.
Ball spotted at the 4. It's 2nd and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And let's see 6 defensive backs out there. They're in the dime here on 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. And they're not going to get the kick off in time. Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the Combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you got the free agents. All right, that starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction. And then you have the OTAs and minicamps. We get to see them on the field for the first time. And we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. They find some open field here. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Obviously just a huge play, but Charles, as a defender, aren't you often taught just to knock that ball down on 4th?
You're exactly right. We are taught that. Okay, just knock it down, take the ball on offense. But sometimes you have to know when to break the rules. And he did, to the tune of 6 points.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto to the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He's going to try and go deep again. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And Adams has it complete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence. One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what?
And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. So he makes the grab and the change move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Rodgers going to throw. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you? We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Can't find anyone open. Flush to his right. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
They'll run. This is Lacy. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. This will be caught at about the 5. Call it a gain of 5. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal. And now they're in the hurry-up.
And Richard Rodgers makes the grab, and let's face it, it's going to follow him the rest of his...
Going to try to get it to his tight end, Rodgers, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lardarius Webb. And a big turnover there.
Hello, my name is Kamal. I am from the clouds. I'm a human now, but I used to be a raindrop. Word up, I'm really good at putting words up. I make them levitate and circle with the birds. I don't need to force it, I let it occur. Whatever occurs, thank you. Feel like I was touched by an angel. Once again, a whole nother angle. I got a lot of holes in my ankle. I got a lot of love and a whole lot of ignorance, and that's a good thing if you want to relate. I'm just trying 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 to relate. It's come out like a power within him. I get down like gravity, rappers and raps rapidly follow the rapid into the rapids of being rapping and rattling, rattle riddles and rivets into the sky. I'm a rebel feeling rhythmically right and vigorous, spinning right to the rhythm, widow to side eye. I am the killer in the grasses. I am the kid in the corner with the glasses. I am the specter, you should respect her. I don't expect the special, ain't special. I don't expect nothing. I'm just really glad I could say something. It's a blessing, ain't no stress.
I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game features two quarterbacks who always seem to find themselves in games that come down to the wire. It's Ben Roethlisberger going up against Joe Flacco. With that, we'll send you up to Baltimore, and standing by at M&T Bank Stadium are the two men who'll call the action. That's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are coming to you from the heart of Baltimore, nestled between Russell Street and I-395. We're at M&T Bank Stadium. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First two games in the playoffs were great, but, you know, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste, gives him fuel for the next season, though, because, remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season. And heading into the playoffs, Le'Veon Bell can set new records.
They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And he's going to be met at about the 43. A gain of 3, second down. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at
looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the longtime Charger, Eric Weddle. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Eric Weddle's one of my favorite players in the league, Brandon. A guy that always seems to be in the right place at the right time, making a play on the football, and he has excellent hands, as we just saw there.
The drive begins with a handoff to West. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Lawrence Timmons, the linebacker, there to get him down. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
And Perriman's got it for a Raven touchdown. Breshad Perriman, 58 yards. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. And he's able to put it through. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Man open right side, it's Rodgers. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And now a first down following that long gain. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And it's complete to Ladarius Green. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And they're definitely showing blitz here. Here's Roethlisberger, and caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Martavis Bryant, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offense coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They begin here with a run by West. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Baltimore first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
play action here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. And defensively going with a dime set, 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Flacco looks to throw, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
23 yards on the play.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
And the slot man goes in motion left. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
On offense, the guy that you want to have the best eyes on the field are your quarterbacks, so you can see everything pre-snap, and then, of course, as the play develops. On defense, oftentimes it's the linebacker. And on this play, his eyes took him right to the ball, and he made a nice tackle.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Time running out here on the play clock. Now Flacco, flushed out right. Teammates, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Joe Flacco with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens have taken the lead. And it's up and good. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Shift together here from the D-line. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Now Ben going to give it to Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. So 2nd and 10 here. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Here comes the D swarming to the line. Here's Roethlisberger. And he's got his tight end. It's Green for the Steeler touchdown. Ladarius Green, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
It's an end around with Perriman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Now Flacco under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Flacco looking left side. He's got it complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Well, now they'll try the end around. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Here's West. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. They'll need to get the play off quickly. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on third down. Setting up to throw, Flacco. And he fires one, but incomplete. He was trying to get it to Steve Smith that time. And it's 4th down.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Now he'll let it go deep left side. And it is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll go again with Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers are going to take the lead. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey.
It's caught at the 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Brashad Perriman, his second touchdown of the night. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Flacco looking to throw for it. It's complete. And he will get into the end zone as they will indeed claim a 1-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. They'll come out in the pistol. And the play clock's running down. 2nd down, Flacco now. And Steve Smith hauls it in. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. This is West. And some room to work. 20. It's a big play there for Baltimore.
Put away your inhibitions. Let the beast in you just get loose. We all young, wild, and different. We can all get hit from a little. I know you're terrified about what the future lies, but there's no compromising. It's my way or the highway. We all just slave the lust, heart building, breaking trust. Don't get wild when we come out. Like don't get loud when the come out. That's instant. Keep up with your friends, stay. Tell they bougie, go wait in line with them lame. Talking real rap, tell them break your neck. Go